Welcome back to the Filipino FM channel, your home for Filipino Football Manager content. With the Premier League season coming to a close, managers such as Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp may be looking for something to do this offseason. Thinking about that, we're coming back to you with another Football Manager 2023 experiment. We're putting Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp in the Philippines Football League. After securing another EPL title with Manchester City, Pep is going to be heading to Philippines Football League reigning champions United City in search of another title. But it won't be easy, as challenging him will be Jurgen Klopp, who is headed to perennial challengers Kaya. But these two aren't going to be alone. With 7 teams in the Philippines Football League, I decided to take the managers of the top 7 clubs in the EPL at the start of the Football Manager 2023 season and put them all in the Philippines Football League. This means that Mikel Arteta, who guided a young Arsenal team to second place in the EPL, will be working with a similarly young Oscars development team to see if he can develop them into title challengers. Eric Ten Hag, after a successful first season working with Marcus Rashford and Casemiro, will see if he can bring a similar level of success to Stallion. Antonio Conte will see if he can stay on at Maharlika Manila to perhaps provide a better season than what we recently saw at Spurs. Eddie Howe will try to replicate his great season at Newcastle United with DHC or Cebu Football Club. And finally, Graham Potter is headed to Mendiola to see if he can bring this semi-professional side competing with the elite of the Philippines, an admittedly very difficult task, not too dissimilar to what we saw at Chelsea this past season. And looking at the Philippines Football League sides in this season preview, it is Kaya, who will be headed by Jurgen Klopp, who are expected to be top of the league in season 1. And with all our managers settling in the Philippines, we've given them all 5-year contracts to see how they will do in the Philippines Football League. Who will come out on top? Well, we're going to head 5 years into the future to 2027 at the end of their contracts to find out. See you then. All right, we have done 5 full seasons in this save, but we are starting off with 1 season into the future. We are on the 4th of July, 2023, and this is the landscape of the Philippines Football League at the moment. Pep Guardiola's side pretty convincingly defeated Jurgen Klopp and the rest of our EPL managers' sides to the Philippines Football League, finishing with 65 points, 21 wins, 2 draws, and only 1 loss. Pretty convincingly beating Jurgen Klopp's Kaya, who had 16 wins but 4 draws and 4 losses, finishing a solid 13 points behind Pep Guardiola's United City. Over the course of the season, it looks like Guardiola decided to play a 4-3-3 type formation with 4 in the back, 1 holding mid, 2 center mids, 2 wingers, and 1 striker. Guardiola's United City was led by Hayato Aoki, who had 18 total appearances, scored 11 goals, and had a 7.01 average rating. And looking at his biography, he was named the Philippines Football League top goal scorer with those 11 goals, leading them to the championship. And looking at Aoki's attributes, they are pretty solid for the Philippines Football League. 13 finishing, 13 off the ball, and 13 pace are all pretty good at this level, so I can see why Guardiola might have built his team around Aoki. Looking at Jurgen Klopp's Kaya, it looks like he was playing a similar formation, following that 4-3-3 type of formation, but he wasn't quite able to defeat Guardiola. And looking at the two sides and their head-to-head, Guardiola definitely came out on top in most of the matches. They played 4 times throughout the season, with United City winning here, Kaya winning here, but in the last 2 matches of the season, United City ended up coming on top in both of those games, and that probably played a big role in Guardiola's United City winning the Philippines Football League. Looking at some of the other clubs, it looks like Aaron Ten Hag's Stallion side played a classic 4-2-3-1, very similar to the types of formations he's playing at Manchester United currently, with two holding midfielders and three kind of attacking midfielders flanking our striker. Coming in fourth place, just behind third place Stallion, is DHC or Cebu Football Club, led by Eddie Howe. And Eddie Howe, similar to Guardiola and Klopp, played the classic 4-3-3. Again, something very similar to what he was playing at Newcastle, and it was good enough to lead them to a solid fourth placed finish. The Oscars development team came in fifth place, just behind Cebu Football Club, and Mikel Arteta led side, leading a young Oscars development team as seen here, primarily a youth team with that 4-3-3 formation. And overall, I think a pretty successful first season for Arteta, especially that he was able to lead a youth side to a solid fifth place finish. I think just by looking from the formation, you might know already, if you don't remember, who Maharlika Manila's manager is, as that three in the back, classic Tottenham Antonio Conte formation. But it was pretty poor for how they did throughout the season. Looking at the squad, especially their end of the season, one win from December onwards, no wins in 2023 for Maharlika Manila, and only scraping out a draw at home to semi-professional led by Graham Potter, Mendiola. So Antonio Conte maybe not doing such a good job with this Maharlika Manila squad. And finally, Graham Potter led Mendiola to a last place finish, just a few points. But I can't say I'm too surprised with it. Mendiola in these simulations generally doesn't do very well. They are the only semi-professional side, so they can't train as much. They have a much lower budget than the rest of the Philippines Football League. But they were playing a classic 4-2-3-1, very similar to what Stallion was playing, but definitely not with the same talent as the Stallion squad. So overall, I can't really blame Graham Potter for Mendiola finishing in last place this season. So again, here's kind of a look at the Philippines Football League table after season one. United City again dominating the Philippines Football League, winning their sixth consecutive Philippines Football League championship, with Maharlika Manila and Mendiola straying pretty far behind. And looking at the award winners, unsurprisingly, Pep Guardiola won Manager of the Year in his first season in the Philippines Football League, 87% win ratio, 51 goals and only 6 goals conceded. I have to say his United team was definitely the best team this season. So that was our look through for season one. I think we're going to jump 2 years into the future now to season three to see how our managers are getting along then. We'll catch up with you in 2025. Welcome back. We are 2 seasons into the future on July 3rd, 2025. And Pep Guardiola's United City once again won the Philippines Football League title, but with a much, much closer title race. Both Kaya from Jurgen Klopp and Eric Ten Hag's Stallion all involved in the title race, with everyone else pretty far below. But it seems like we have three title challengers. It looks like Eric Ten Hag and Jurgen Klopp both closing the gap to Pep Guardiola's United City. And let's see how the season before went. Jurgen Klopp's Kaya actually defeating United City in season number 2 with an undefeated season. Wow. So Jurgen Klopp was able to beat Pep Guardiola in the Philippines Football League with a massive undefeated season. Wow, that is really, really good. And it looks like there's a pretty established top three, especially looking at the previous history here. It's Pep Guardiola's United City, Jurgen Klopp's Kaya, and Eric Ten Hag's Stallion, who are making up the top three places in the Philippines Football League. I was also curious to see who is winning the Philippines Football League Cup. This is very similar to the FA Cup in England, and it has been pretty much just Jurgen Klopp's Kaya or Pep Guardiola's United City, with those two teams winning each of the last three editions and the last two being direct competition between Guardiola's United City and Jurgen Klopp's Kai. The previous edition of the PFL Cup actually going to penalties, with Pep Guardiola's United City only winning on that penalty kick shootout. So overall, some pretty dramatic games. And actually, United City scoring a penalty in the 89th minute. That is a heartbreaking way for Jurgen Klopp's Kaya to lose that. Unsurprisingly, Manager of the Year awards for the Philippines Football League have gotten to the three previous league winners. Pep Guardiola again winning it in the first season, Jurgen Klopp after guiding Kaya to a Philippines Football League title in the second season, winning the Manager of the Year award, and Pep Guardiola getting it in the third. As far as tactics are concerned, it seems that everyone is playing similar tactics. Again, 4-3-3 from Guardiola, also a 4-3-3 from Jurgen Klopp and Kaya, a 4-2-3-1 from Eric Ten Hag at Stallion. Eddie Howe also going with the trusted 4-3-3 formation at Cebu Football Club. Arteta going with the 4-3-3 with Ascal's development team. Conte once again going with the 5-4-2-1 type formation, or kind of a 5-4-1 type formation with Maharlika Manila. And Graham Potter rolling out the 4-2-3-1 with Mendiola. Also, I was clicking around through the game, and Jurgen Klopp is now unemployed. Now, all of the other managers are still at the club, and I have them all locked in on 5-year contracts until 2027. But for some reason, Jurgen Klopp is unemployed. Oh, he was sacked as manager of Kaya. Oh, how did that happen? So a year after guiding Kaya to the Philippines Football League title, winning manager of the year and guiding them to an unbeaten season, he was sacked for not winning the league. Oh my, I this is very unexpected. Kaya has sacked Jurgen Klopp. I don't even really know where else to look here. This is just shocking. All right, so again, looking at the milestones, you can see there, sacked as manager of Kaya after finishing runner-up, wow, and losing in the PFL Cup final. This is this is very unexpected. Okay, so we are now going from 7 EPL managers for this save to just 6 without Jurgen Klopp. So we'll see where Kaya goes from here. This is a really unexpected development. Um, yeah, we'll see where Kaya goes from here. We'll see how the rest of it plays out. We are going to jump 2 years into the future to the end of the save, but it seems like we're going to be jumping 2 years without Jurgen Klopp, unfortunately. So we'll actually see where he is at that time, and I'll catch up with you then. This is very surprising. All right, welcome back to the Philippines Football League in 2027. We are going to see where Jurgen Klopp is at in just a little bit. But to start off, United City, in the closest title race yet, defeated both Kaya and Stallion to the latest Philippines Football League title. So this is in season 5, checking out season 4. Okay, the dominance between United City and Kaya was broken by Stallion. Eric Ten Hag actually doing a really good job here. Stallion is not expected to win the Philippines Football League title at all. So the fact that Eric Ten Hag does this, wow, really big surprise. 1 point above United City. Manchester United fans, if this is any indication, this is a really, really good omen because Eric Ten Hag leading Stallion to the Philippines Football League title, that is very impressive. And looking at the past winners, sure enough, it is still that 3-horse race between United City, Kaya, and Stallion. But again, Stallion breaking that United City and Kaya dominance. Great job from Eric Ten Hag there before Pep Guardiola reestablishing himself. Looking at the managerial awards for the Philippines Football League, again, no surprise. Eric Ten Hag winning it in 2025-26, then Pep Guardiola reclaiming the award in 2026-27. It looks like, as far as the PFL Cup is concerned, after Jurgen Klopp's departure, it has been dominated by Kaya. So Kaya becoming the PFL Cup team, possibly even doing better after Jurgen Klopp's departure. Let's see who their manager is. Who have they brought in? Somebody, a Filipino, Marjo Alado. I'm not sure who this is. They have great motivating. It looks like they are definitely a real person. Um, Hired as Kaya manager, they were at Global. So Global would have been one of the lower clubs in the Philippines. So it looks like based on his performances, he went to Kaya and again, back-to-back Philippines Football League Cup winners. Possibly, maybe doing better than Jurgen Klopp did. He didn't lead them to a league title, but two PFL Cup wins, so not too bad there. And in one of the most shocking developments, Jurgen Klopp has become the manager of the Philippines. After leaving Kaya, and granted, I did lower all of their reputations when I brought them into the Philippines Football League, just to kind of help keeping there. But I thought, given how good they are, they would probably have ended up back in Europe after leaving. But Jurgen Klopp has become the manager of the Philippines. This is one of the most unexpected developments I have seen, and I don't think he's won anything with the Philippines. He was knocked out in the Asian Cup second round and qualified for the Asian Nations Cup. Wow. Okay. I think we have to look at the Philippines schedule. They have gone up in world ranking. They were 132nd at the start of the save. They've gone up to 116th. And looking at the schedule, so he started off with 2026, so not a great start in the Southeast Asian games if he had them yet. And in 2027, again, leading them to the Asian Cup second round, where they lost to Japan. But overall, it doesn't seem like Jurgen Klopp is doing a bad job. And he also is bringing that 4-3-3 that he had at Kaya to the Philippines. This is a shocking development. This is, wow, something I really wasn't expecting. One, Jurgen Klopp getting fired, and two, could you imagine Jurgen Klopp being the manager of the Philippines? That would be insane. That would be nuts. Wow. And we're going to conclude here with just one final look at the Philippines Football League in season 5. Graham Potter's Mendiola finishing in 7th. I think they finished last place every season. Overall, he didn't have a whole lot to work with, being that Mendiola is the only semi-professional side in the Philippines. So I think given his resources, he did pretty well. Above them, Arteta's Ascal's development team, who in season 5 had a pretty disappointing 6th place finish, but overall, they were mid-table for most of the seasons. So I think in that sense, and having a very young team, Arteta did pretty well there. Above them, Antonio Conte's Maharlika Manila. 5th place is a pretty good finish. They were 6th place throughout, but managed to jump up one spot in the final season. So overall, not too bad by Conte. In 4th place, Eddie Howe's Cebu Football Club. Probably mid-table was about the expectation there, so not too bad from Eddie Howe. And finally, our top 3 of Stallion, Kaya, and United City. Kaya, astoundingly, firing Jurgen Klopp, definitely the biggest surprise of the save. But Eric Ten Hag Stallion managing to win one Philippines Football League, while for the most part, Pep Guardiola and United City dominated this save. So that I think we're going to end our save there. That was 5 seasons of some of the top managers in England in the Philippines Football League. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Football Manager 2023 experiment, and we'll be back with more videos soon. Bye.